on surging investments in energy storage systems as the next meaningful pillar of demand. This will help to absorb the years of oversupply.
Wheat prices increased for a second day on a rise in US exports, outweighing bearish supply signals. Exports jumped nearly 85% from a week earlier, while sales surged over 20% to 12 million tons this year from a year ago.
And back home, India's pension regulator has allowed investments in gold and silver ETFs, potentially unlocking about $1.7 billion in fresh demand for precious metals. PS funds can now allocate around 1% of their asset to approved bullion ETFs.
Hi there, welcome back to ET. Now you're watching Market Fatafat with me, Kanishka Sarkar and Ankita Saxena. Over the next half an hour, we'll talk about all the stocks that are buzzing in trade today, either on the back of news flow or on the back of technicals. But before we get started, a quick look at how the markets are shaping up at this juncture and what a stellar recovery we have made, trading close to the day's highest point, 26,000. That's the level that we are maintaining finally after giving it up all through the week that has gone by. But now we are holding on to that 26,000 level, up about 100 points on the Nifty. If we talk about Sensex, and even stellar rally over there, more than 360 points on gains on Sensex, 85,183. That's the level that the index is holding. Bank Nifty, a rather muted recovery over there as compared to the other indices. 100 points, 120 odd points of recovery on Nifty Bank. 59,300 is the level that it's holding. If we talk about some of the top contributors to these gains that we are seeing on the Nifty, Hindalco, Tata Steel. Tata Steel did have its con call yesterday following that capex plan that they announced. Majority of a lot of investments coming up for Tata Steel, and hence it makes it one of the top Nifty gainers in trade today. Apart from that, Eternal also up more than 2%. L&T too up more than 2% after that Goldman Sachs upgrade that has come, raising its target price as well. So yes, that's how the market is looking. NSE advance decline ratio, that's also in the favor of advances right now. 107.40 stocks in the positive territory. So yes, Ankita, very good recovery is what we have seen, and lots of stocks holding on to those gains, especially L&T, Eternal, Tata Steel and Hindalco.
Absolutely good recovery that's coming in. In fact, the market breadth also looks positive today. But let's get started with the show then and tell you all the buzzers in trade. For that, we are joined by Kunal Parar, who's the Vice President Technical Research at Algo Choice Equity Broking. Hi Kunal, good afternoon, and thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us today. Let's get started with the first stock of the day. Ashok Buildcon is a stock that rose almost 1.2% after the company announced its joint venture with Adani Road Transport and Akshay Infra that has received a letter of acceptance worth 1,815 crore rupees from the Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation, or the BMC. Now, the contract pertains to package 3 of the Mithi River Development and Pollution Control Project, involving dry weather flow interception at the tidal outfalls, transfer sewers, river training, service roads and retaining walls and the allied civil works. The project will be executed on the design, build and operate, or the DBO model, and it includes 10 years of operations and maintenance. On the back of that, Ashok Buildcon is in focus. It has currently given up all those morning gains, is now reeling under selling pressure at the lowest point of the day, trading with cuts of 2%.
Right, so that's Ashoka Buildcon for you, but let's move on to the next counter. Kunal, you've picked out Dalmia Bharat for us. Stellar of 4% rally in today's trading session. But if you look at the past 1 month, it's been rather muted, just about 1% gain or so. But from here on, where do you see the stock headed? Could we see a turnaround story?
Yes, definitely we may see some turnaround stories in the counter. Right now, counter is trading at 2070 level, and during yesterday's trading session, it made a bullish engulfing candlestick formation. And based on this formation, we are today witnessing some following momentum in the counter. Not only this, if we talk about early chart, then on early chart, stock has given a gap down opening, and it is sustaining well above its 100 and 200 early moving averages. So it clearly indicates some kind of further upside momentum in the counter. Right now, counter is trading at 2070. One can get into the stock at present level with 6 stop loss at 2010. And if you talk about target wise, the way stock has been trading on its daily chart, first target would be at 2115, and if stock breaks this level, the upside would be there up to the level of 2200. So yes, by looking at the early chart, it gives clear sense of bullish momentum in the counter.
All right, so charts do indicate a bullish momentum coming in for the counter, but let's move on and get you another update. L&T, one of the top gainers on the Nifty today. Now, this one, as a brokerage, a global brokerage, Goldman Sachs, they've upgraded L&T to buy from a neutral stance earlier and have also raised the target price to 5,000 rupees. That's significantly up from 37.30 earlier. Now, to talk about the rationale, now L&T is leveraging its capabilities into new opportunities, driving a potential re-rating. That's the word coming from the brokerage. It also says that with a strong order backlog, low working capital and optimized capital allocation, the company, that is L&T, is set to deliver robust earnings growth through FY26 to 28. Margins are also expected to improve further, supporting growth throughout the 28 to 30 FI period. This would be on the back of execution cycle. Apart from that, L&T has also positioned itself in high growth sectors like defense, hydrogen, nuclear power, which currently form about 4% of the order inflows, and they could go up to 15% by FY35. So yes, that's the word coming from Goldman Sachs, and on the back of this very bullish note, the stock is rallying more than 2%.
All right, so that's the counter that is in focus, L&T, on the back of a note by Goldman Sachs. But let's move on to Lloyds and Metals Energy that is in focus, Lloyds and Tata Steel have entered into a non-binding MOU for examining the potential areas of cooperation in areas such as raw materials, mining, logistics, pellets and steel making. Plus, their board has also approved a 50% equity stake in Nexus Holdco ZSCO for up to $55 million. On the back of these two news flows, Lloyds Metal is in focus. It's given up those morning gains, but nonetheless, it is holding out in the green with gains of more than 0.5% right now.
All right, so that is Lloyds Metal for you. But moving on, Kunal, yet a very similar movement in the counter that you have picked out. NMDC, good 3% gains today, but in the past month, less than 1%. So is this also a turnaround story?
Yes, definitely. Today we are witnessing some good upside momentum in this counter, and not only this, the more advanced and the more confident technical structure is that the stock has been trading with its golden crossover of 15 to 200 days moving average, and right now stock is trading above its 50 days moving average. Not only this, on an early chart, stock has given a breakout of its symmetrical triangle formation on a smaller time frame, so it gives some kind of sense for upside momentum. So, from my side, it's thumbs up for this counter. One can get into the stock not only for trading perspective, but also for long-term perspective, because long-term structure looks very attractive for this counter, and this counter is like a very good dividend-paying stock as well. So, right now, 77.75 stock is trading at this level. One can get into the stock with 6 stop loss of 75. And talk about target-wise, then first target would be at somewhere around 80, and if stock breaks this level, then further upside would be there up to the level of 82.50. So for trading perspective, yeah, these are the levels that one has to follow. But if you talk about long-term perspective, yeah, one can at least expect somewhere around 96, and if stock breaks this level, then yeah, 110 would be there for long term.
All right, so 110, that's the target for the long term as far as NMDC is concerned. But let's move on and talk about Indigo. Now, this one continues to be in focus on the back of regulatory scrutiny that's keeping it in headlines. In fact, the company CEO, Peter Elbers, he has been called to appear before the DGCA Committee of Officers later today, that is December 12th. This is amid ongoing operational and compliance concern. Apart from this, the market watchdog SEBI sources have said that they have also stepped in reviewing potential disclosure lapses by the airline, with information being sought by the NSE. Now, these disclosures relate to notices issued by the DGCA, including one sent on December 6th. Meanwhile, Indigo is actively engaging with the DGCA, updating them on refund status, baggage returns, crew strength, flight rescheduling, and reasons behind the flight disruptions. In fact, the airline has also processed most of the refunds and initiated payments for tickets booked through travel partners. So yes, on the back of this, the stock is in focus. However, despite the negative news flow, the stock is managing to hold on to the green. In fact, at one point in the day, it was among the top Nifty gainers. However, it has given up those gains. It's still trading about 0.5% higher.
All right, moving on then to the next story. Microsoft India today announced the statewide expansion of its AI-powered investigation platform for the Maharashtra Police, a move that brings next-generation cybercrime tools to 1,100 police stations in Maharashtra. Anurag Joshi is now joining us with more details of the story. Let's take a look.
Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella today unveiled Mahacrime OSA in Mumbai today. It's an Azure-powered platform developed by Microsoft in partnership with the Maharashtra government and CyberEye. The platform is currently live in 23 Nagpur police stations, and Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis said that the state plans to expand it to all the 1100 police stations across the state. The launch is on the heels of Microsoft unveiling plans to invest $17.5 billion in India over a period of the next 4 years to 2029. The investment is to advance the country's cloud and artificial intelligence infrastructure, skilling and ongoing operations, Microsoft had earlier said. And this investment, the recent investment, tops a $3 billion India investment plan which Microsoft had unveiled at the start of the year.
Thanks, Anurag, for getting us that update from Microsoft. But with that, time now to stop for a very short breather. We'll be right back to talk about all the top buzzes in trade today.
Welcome back, you're tuned into Market Fatafat, where we are getting you all the stocks that are in focus today in today's trading session. And IGL is also in focus on the back of a note by Citi. Because of a clean fuel push improving outlook, Citi has come out with a note where they say that the CNG volume growth is expected to recover to 7% CAGR in FY 25-28 estimates, and it is also going to drive 15% EPS. Now, the Delhi NCR Clean Energy Mandate has set the stage for a CNG volume recovery. Now, Haryana and UP are also going to allow only CNG and EV additions to aggregator fleets from January 2026. Now, Delhi's entry into the buses restricted to CNG and EV diesel starts from November 2026, and the EV cap transition concerns are easing as the government is planning more flexible timelines. Also, the GST cuts is supporting the higher CNG vehicle registrations. On the back of that, Citi has come out with a note on IGL. On the back of that positive note, IGL is up in a way 1% in the trading session.
All right, so that's IGL up more than 1%. But Kunal, what about BPCL? That's the one that you have picked out for us. It's up 3%, over 3% in trade today, nearly reversing its 1 month decline. But from here on, do you expect more steady momentum coming in for the stock?
Yes, definitely. Further signals are that we are getting from the daily chart. Right now, stock has been trading over its 50 moving average. Not only the stock has been trading with its golden crossover of 50 into 200 days moving average, and if we talk about technical pattern, that stock has been trading in its upper rising channel formation. So it clearly indicates for some upside momentum that we can see in the counter in near term. Right now, technical structure looks very attractive at present level. Right now, stock is trading at 362. One can get into the stock at present level with strict stop loss of 350. And if you talk about target wise, the way stock has been trading in its daily chart, first target would be at 371, and if stock breaks this level, then further upside would be there up to the level of 386. So yes, definitely one can get into the stock at present level with strict stop loss of 350.
All right, so that's the level. All right, so that's about it. That was the last. Have Charu joining us from the ground. Thank you, Kunal, for joining us. On that note, we'll let you go. But here's a